Maranatha, my PBC family and friends. Pastor Brian here, then the Quick Bite, Living the Word. Today our words are going to come from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and it's something you've heard before, and it's actually made into a song by the Birds, but a passage that I think is so important for us to remember. It starts off in verse 1, it says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." And then he goes on, he lists some contrasts, some differences. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up, that was his plan, a time to kill and a time to heal, time to break down, a time to build up, time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, and so on and so forth. Now, what I want to kind of come back and talk about, though, is really, in all honesty, what is the point? The point is this, is that when we look at our life, we kind of feel like it goes like this. Like there's all sorts of crazy times, and at one moment we're laughing, one moment we're crying, and it's just kind of this back and forth thing, for lack of better terms. But really, in all honesty, if we stop and take a step back from those things, not that we won't still have those emotions and won't have those changes, but if we stop and take a step back from those things and look at the bigger picture, we'll start to see like the Lord does. And what I mean by that is this. Look how he starts there. He says this, that to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. In other words, everything that is happening has a purpose behind it, has a design behind it, has a reason for it. And I love how he brings that reason to a close at the end of all that, when at verse 8 he says, "A time to love and a time to hate, and a time of war, and a time of peace." And then he says, "What profit hath the he that worketh in and whereth he laboreth?" And this is the profit. This is the purpose, if I can put it that way. He says this. He says, "I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. He also hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end." This is really the point. This is that purpose of the seasons. It's kind of bringing it back to this thought that we may not understand it right now, but if we would be willing to step back for a moment and just wait on God to see what the purpose of it is, that we'll see that God will make everything beautiful in his time. Meaning that God is working things well. We may not feel like that right now. It may feel like things are out of control and things are just, we don't know what's going on. But the point of the matter is we know God is still in control. God has a purpose. God has a design. And at the end of it all, we'll see that he's made it beautiful. So I hope this encourages you today to remember that God is still in control and he's making beautiful things out of what appears to us to be a mess. I love you. We love you. God loves you, and God's got this.